Welcome. Today we're going to look at 2 steps to simplify the reading of a commercial lease. Our sponsor today is Vantage Knowledge Systems. They provide real estate intelligence so that you know more to achieve more. They educate users of commercial real estate to negotiate better leases that add value, save money, and reduce risk. I'm your presenter today. My name is Peter Morris. I have 34 years in commercial real estate all across North America and have administered to thousands of leases and leased over 5 million square feet personally. You may have some questions as you go through today's presentation, so please email me your questions at pdmorris@greensteadcg.com. That's pdmorris@greensteadcg.com. There's a lot to a commercial lease. Retail and office leases can be over 50 pages long. There are typically 14 parts to a major lease, including the introduction, and then going through the basic terms, definitions, the operation of the common areas, a look at the insurance, environmental, and what both landlords and tenants must do under the terms of the lease. And of course, there are probably schedules to the lease as well. It can be very, very confusing. It can be confusing for 2 reasons. The first is there are a lot of words you may not be familiar with, words that are industry specific to insurance and legal and also the commercial real estate industry. Words such as waiver of subrogation, HVAC, inurement, co-covenantor, guarantor, and attornment. And as I mentioned, there are a lot of concepts that are behind those words, and these concepts may look very simple on the surface, but can be very daunting once you get into the nuances of each of those concepts. So let me give you a caveat. The first one is, always have a lawyer who specializes in commercial leases review the lease. Please do not get a lawyer who is a generalist. And the reason I say that is that the world of commercial lease law and commercial leasing and commercial real estate are changing rapidly. So please have a lawyer who specializes only in commercial real estate and commercial leases review the lease. Now, this lawyer may cost you a little bit more on a per-hour basis, but their knowledge can save you a lot of money in the long run. And here's caveat number 2. Learn lease concepts to assist you in negotiating and managing the lease. By the time your lawyer sees the lease, most of the heavy lifting in negotiating has already occurred. So it's up to you to really understand all the lease concepts to assist you in negotiating and managing the lease. So let's look at how to read the lease. There are 2 basic lease formats. If there are any changes to the lease, the first format has those changes drafted into each clause. In the second format, any changes are put into a schedule to the lease. This latter format can be difficult to read because you're going to be reading 2 documents, the basic lease and then the schedule that makes all the changes to that lease. So today we're going to show you how to create a short form management copy of the lease in 2 simple steps. The first step is to make a copy of the original and to keep the original safe. The original is the only legal document that will be used if there is a dispute between the landlord and the tenant. So it's important to keep that in a safe place. So make a copy of the original lease, and on the copy, and only on the copy, not on the original, mark it up with the words management copy. Then what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the intent of each clause using the who, what, when method. But I have to give you a warning. Expect that every word in the lease has meaning, even an and, but, or. So it is important, if there is a dispute, to go back to the original lease and not rely on the management copy. The management copy is intended only to allow you to manage the lease on a day-to-day basis. So what is the who, what, when method? Well, most clauses in the lease specify who should do something, what that should be, and when it should be done by. So really, in the who, what, when method, we're looking for who, what, and when in each clause in the lease. Let me give you an example. This is a clause from a retail lease. It stipulates how long sales records should be around and who can look at those sales records. I put this clause through a readability audit, and it came back that it was written for a reader at a graduate school level. So let's simplify this wording. What we're going to do is we're going to highlight in this clause who, what, and when. And this is what we come up with. The tenant shall keep for 2 years from the end of the lease year sales records open to inspection and audit. And while I didn't highlight it, it's by the landlord. So the tenant shall keep for 2 years from the end of the lease year sales records open to inspection and audit. That is a lot simpler to read than the original clause. But don't forget, you should learn lease concepts as well. As I mentioned, there are a number of concepts that you do need to know and understand, both in negotiating your lease and in managing it on a day-to-day basis. So have you learned something of value today? You can learn more. We offer 2 4-part lease negotiation courses, one for landlords and one for occupiers. Each complete, multi-part online course walks you through the leasing process and lease management in simple, plain language terms. You can download it and complete it in your own time. To order and download now, simply go to vantageknowledge.com. Select the course that's applicable for you, and then click on the Add to Cart button. Here is what you'll learn in our comprehensive and exclusive programs for either occupiers or landlords. In Part 1, we'll go over the DNA of the deal. It consists of 3 important negotiating topics. In Part 2, we'll negotiate 5 key terms. We'll show you what is important to negotiate, what is important to give a little bit on, and what you should never give any room for. In Part 3, we'll look at 5 other areas where you can negotiate in the lease wording to create value and reduce risk. And in Part 4, we will go over special considerations when leasing in green and mixed-use projects. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. If you're not completely satisfied within 30 days after receiving Part 1 of our exclusive program, simply send us an email. We'll refund your purchase price. To go and order now, simply click on www.vantageknowledge.com, select your course, and then click the Add to Cart button. But we'll give you a bonus. If you are a tenant, you'll also receive a discount coupon towards our lease management service for 50% off your first year's service. And what is our lease management service? Well, we'll take a copy of your original to keep it safe for you, and we'll also make another copy of that and create a lease management copy using the who, what, when method. We'll also help you keep track of key dates in the lease. And if you order now and use the discount code WORDING, the regular price of $499 is reduced to just $299. But that's only if you order now. So please do so at www.vantageknowledge.com. If you order now, you'll get our exclusive 4-part lease negotiation and lease management program, a 50% discount coupon to our lease management service, and a risk-free guarantee. Just $299 with the coupon code WORDING. So we encourage you, go to www.vantageknowledge.com, select the course that's applicable for you, click on the Add to Cart button, download the course, and start learning today. Thank you for joining us today.